Vogel on the sound effects and guitar, drum, and Joe Speer poetry stories. A story called Dust on the Horizon. Doris Norris and I drove into Fort Craig, a 5-mile stretch of dirt road off of Interstate 25, south of Socorro. We saw what looked like two illegals walking north through the desert about 4 p.m. One had a knapsack, and they both had a furtive gait. We spent a couple of hours at the old fort, the old melted down walls from the 1800s, when the army protected the government's interests. The volunteer hosts finally rousted us out around 6. They asked if we had seen two suspicious types walking around, two walkabouts. We concurred that we had, but they were probably long gone by now. Maybe up the Tomei Hill by now. We chatted about the history of the old fort. We got the grand tour. Our elderly hosts bombarded us with knowledge of fort life, the buffalo soldiers that protected the western frontier. They offered a synopsis of their lifestyle as volunteer park hosts. Be a volunteer in the national parks. As evening approached, they expressed concern that those two mysterious men might backtrack and seek shelter. So loaded down with brochures and maps, we pulled out at dusk. What happened next reminded me of an episode that occurred some years earlier when I was traveling with my young friend Hosea in a borrowed VW Bug. We were on a remote dirt road south of Blue Water Lake, New Mexico. You would never imagine running into a police officer in that remote area. I was giving my little friend Jose driving lessons. He was only 13 years old at the time, but it seemed like a desolate enough location that we might get away with it. I was completely relaxed, looking at the window at the wilderness, the big trees, when my comfort zone was erupted by Hosea's announcement. Hey Joe, we're being followed by the cops. I figured he was joshing. I just nodded my head smilingly like sure, as if to say I'm not falling for that one. But he was serious, and he reiterated, No, the cops are behind us. The alarm in his voice forced me to adjust the rearview mirror to look behind us. And sure enough, there was a police car with the lights raising dust, a dust cloud right behind us. It was a story I had related to Doris Norris many weeks before, when Jose and I stopped for the police. I said we should both jump out at the same time, walk back and meet the officer. Maybe he wouldn't notice who was driving. The policeman was looking for some old woman who was lost in the area. We hadn't seen her, but we would sure look for her. We'll do our best, officer. When we pulled out, I was in the driver's seat until we got some miles away. Now let Hosea take over again and I could relax. All I want to do is relax. Now, there was a cloud of dust moving rapidly toward us. As Doris and I puffed on a joint, we speculated on just what the dust cloud meant. It seemed very odd. Was it somebody in a rented car or a jeep on a lark? It was